Hope everybody's doing well. Um, I haven't been posting for a while. I've been very, very busy, but I thought I would come on here and do a short live. Um, it's today's Saturday, and it's been a very strange week, as some of you will know. I do have a few minutes to spare whilst I'm waiting to go and attend a service, a memorial service of a dear friend who passed away. That's why I'm sort of all dressed in black. So whilst I'm waiting, I thought I would come here and do a bit of a live. Um, For many of us immigrants, it's been a very difficult week, especially because of what's going on, not just here in Europe, but over the pond in the USA with the results of the USA elections. Um, if It depends on which camp you're on. If you are like me, who was hoping for a first woman president, you would know how devastated we were that our candidate lost. And yeah, it raised a lot of questions because it just didn't make sense on a number of levels. And it really just beggars belief. Honestly, I think a lot of us are still stunned. We're still sad, shocked, just wondering what the world is coming to. Because what happened the morning of Wednesday this week, the day after the American elections, was just so shocking and so devastating. A lot of us really were affected by the outcome. You might say that, oh, well, you're not American, you don't live in America, so why should you bother? I think we should all be troubled because America is the biggest so called democracy. It's the biggest economy, and it's a country that provides the leadership that we all expect. It's a country that is supposed to live by example. So, after all we saw and believed about the two candidates, it is shocking. The result that we were then presented was really, really shocking. It was just painful. And it sends a message. Um, So a lot of, each person will have different views and different ways of interpreting the outcome of the American elections. But I'll just give a brief view of my own perspective on it, being an immigrant living in Europe. That what happens in America often reflects, what is going on in Europe. In Europe, we've seen the rise of the right wing who are anti immigrant. We've seen individuals who are very, very extremely right wing being elected to positions of power. And that is frightening. It is frightening because, on one level, without the contributions of immigrants, a lot of Western economies would collapse. We do the kinds of jobs that the natives, the so-called natives who point fingers at us and say we're taking their jobs, do not want to do. Um, we contribute to the health of these nations because a lot of our immigrants work in the health service, as carers, as nurses, as doctors, you name it. We are the ones that are making sure that the system doesn't collapse. And yet we are not welcome. We're not welcome here. That is the message that the outcome of the American election, sent out to us immigrants. On a personal level, I'm glad that I am on a journey of transitioning to relocating back to Africa, back to my home country. But but uh, the fact that I'm relocating doesn't mean that I stop talking about my concerns for those who will remain behind, because times are potentially going to get harder. Sometimes you actually feel the tension, when you go to certain places, you just feel that you're not welcome, and it's frightening. So we're going to be watching what's going to be happening to America when the new president-elect takes over in January. He has promised to deport millions and millions of immigrants on the first day of him taking over the White House. We'll see what happens. Recently, I think during the summer here in England, we had riots. There were a lot of riots where right supporters of right-wing parties were out demonstrating that they didn't want any migrants, any immigrants. And it was good to see that the new Labour government here in the United Kingdom actually moved quite swiftly and crushed some of those movements by prosecuting and sending to jail some of those right-wing individuals. A lot of them are serving jail terms, and a lot of them are in prison right now, waiting to be sentenced. So, on one level, it is comforting to see that something is being done, but at the same time, who wants to live in a country where you feel that you are not welcome? How can you thrive? How can you do well in an environment where you are walking on eggshells? You're scared that something bad could happen. So we were hoping, this is why it was really important for America to send Kamala Harris to the White House, because she is a daughter of immigrants herself. So she would, you know, she understands the immigrant story. So I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the future holds. But I guess it's also time for Africa, for instance, or even Asia, and other developing countries to create an environment which makes it not necessary for a lot of us to have to leave our countries because of economic reasons or political reasons. They have to create an environment which makes it attractive for us to want to come back home and help in developing our countries. We don't have to suffer. We don't have to live in anxiety. It's not a good state of mind or state of affairs to be in, to be living in such an environment. So, yeah, interesting times ahead. We'll just have to see how it pans out. But It's frightening. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie, and especially for the newly arrived immigrants and also for our children, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. But let's hope for the best. We can only pray and hope for the best. So anyway, I'm about to go into the service now. I'll stop this recording, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And don't forget to share your thoughts, comment, and consider subscribing. Thank you, and bye for now.